Hello everyone and welcome back to some more K-pop news. In today's video, I have news on how ASTRO member named Cha Woo has now been accused of doing tax evasion. Also, I have news on how former 21 member named Ciel has now been forwarded to the prosecution because apparently she has been running a company that has not been registered at all, and also a whole lot of news like that as well. So with all that being said, let's get straight right to the video right now. Last week, Astro member named Cha Wu has now been accused of doing tax evasion, and what I'm talking about is that it says right here that he was notified by the National Tax Service that he owes over 20 billion Korean won, which is about $13.7 million in additional taxes, and this includes income tax on charges of tax evasion. And the reason on why he's being accused of doing tax evasion is because it says right here that this assessment is a result of the tax audit conducted before he got enlisted in the military of July of last year, and it says right here that his side has now formally rejected this decision and is now currently awaiting the outcome of a pre-assessment review requested to challenge the accusations about him doing tax evasion. Now look, after this news came out, his company that he is under, named Fantasia Entertainment, has now put out a statement about this, and in their statement, this is what they had to say about his situation that he is in right now. The core issue in this matter is whether the corporation established by Chau's mother constitutes a substantive taxable entity. This matter has not yet been finally confirmed or officially assessed, and we plan to actively provide explanations through lawful procedures regarding issues related to the interpretation and application of the law. In order for this process to be concluded as swiftly as possible, the artist and his tax representatives will cooperate diligently. After Fantasia has now put out their statement about him, it seems that he has now put out his own statement about the situation as well, and in his statement, this is what he had to say about it. However, I deeply feel the responsibility for this misunderstanding, which also stemmed from my own shortcomings. If I were not a soldier at the moment, I would want to personally visit and bow my head to all those who were harmed by this incident. With that sentiment, I am writing this letter with all my sincerity. For the long period of the last 11 years, despite having more shortcomings than possessions, I was able to be in this unreserved position as Cha Wu thanks to your unreserved love and support. Therefore, I am indescribally sorry for not even being able to repay, but to have caused great pain and fatigue to all those who believed in and supported me despite my inadequacies, and to the many people I have worked with. I will faithfully participate in the tax-related procedures in the future. Furthermore, I will humbly accept the final decision made by the relevant authorities and take full responsibility accordingly. In the future, I will reflect on myself more rigorously and live with a greater sense of responsibility with the mindset of repaying the love I received. Once again, I sincerely apologize for causing concern. Now look, here's my thoughts about this news right here. First off, I'm so confused about whether he actually did tax evasion or not, because being accused of doing tax evasion is such a big thing, and so because of that, and also the fact that since this situation is still in the beginning stages of the lawsuit and situation, I'm just going to have to and see what happens with him, and I'm just going to have to wait and see about whether his accusations about him doing tax evasion is true or not. But let me know down in the comment section down below. Do you think that Cha Wu did tax evasion or not? For the next news that I have for you today, it was announced also that former 21 member named CL has now been forwarded to prosecution without detention for allegedly violating the Popular Culture and Arts Industry Development Act. And the reason is because it says right here that she is now being accused of running a company for more than 5 years without registering this company with any authorities at all. Now, like for me, I find this news very funny, and the reason is because after this news came out, I looked it up on the internet to see if this was true or not, and it turns out that this accusation made against Sia might not even be true at all because it says on the internet that she had in fact made and that she had in fact established her company, meaning that she had in fact put her company in and had in fact registered her company with the authorities when she had made her own company all back in 2020. And so because of that one reason, that's why I find this news so funny right now. For the next news that I have for you today, I have the final conclusion for the lawsuit between 50/50's company named ATTRAKT and the Givers, and in this lawsuit, it was announced by the 33rd Civil Agreement Division of the Seoul Central District Court that ATTRAKT has now won in this lawsuit that they have filed against the Givers named CEO, named Unregistered, and threatened back in damages against the company. And so because that, the court has now ordered the givers, CEO, unsealed, and directed bank to all pay 499.5 million won to ATTRAKT because ATTRAKT has now won its lawsuit against them. I'm so happy to hear that after 1 year and 6 months, that now that this lawsuit is now over, I'm so happy to hear that ATTRAKT has now won because ever since I heard about this lawsuit that was filed all the way back in September of 2023, I always knew that ATTRAKT was right and I always knew that the givers were wrong. And so because that, now that this lawsuit has not concluded, like I said, I'm so happy to hear that in the end, that ATTRAKT has now come out on top and has now won this lawsuit against the givers last week. For the next news, I have a good news for you because it was announced that after AKMU had left YG, it was announced that they have now made their own agency called Fountain of Inspiration. I'm very happy to hear that they have now made their own company because I was confused on what they were going to do next after they had left YG. But after I heard about this news, I'm so happy about that because this means that sooner or later we are finally going to be able to get new music from them because they have now made their own company last week. For the final news that I have for you today, a really big rumor has now come out, and in this rumor, it was announced that former member of NMIXX, JINI, is now rumored to be debuting inside of a new K-pop girl group named OS. Now look, I'm hoping that this rumor is true because ever since she left NMIXX, she only has released one song, and after she released that one song, she has not released any songs at all. And so because that, I'm hoping that this rumor is true because I want her to release more songs inside of K-pop because I want to hear her songs right now. But thank you so much as always for watching my K-pop news video, and don't forget to like, comment, and to also subscribe down below for more K-pop news like this one. Anyways, that's it for today, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!